my hats off to Coach Morris and his crew. When you win one like that on the road, you've got probably one of those special seasons going, and I've had that feeling before, and they played, I'm sure not up to his standard, but did enough to win there at the end, and that's a really good football team. And I told our guys after the game, I wanted them to understand, I'm not mad, I'm not. For huge periods, huge stretches, we played tonight, like a championship American Athletic Conference team should play. And I was really proud of that. We hadn't seen that in a year and a half, guys. Against a really, really good team to play that well for an extended period of time. I was really proud. Now, we got a long way to go, obviously. I'd rather get beat by 50. I told them I would. Because it's hard to be that close. And yet still know we got a lot of work to do. So I'm really proud. That team on the other sideline tonight is really good. And they've got something special. They got a hell of a quarterback, a hell of a coach, and they've got something brewing. And for us to be in the position that we were, that's a team I feel like we really haven't seen in our 2 years here. So I was proud of that. But again, I would expect them to move on probably even faster had we won. And so this one's going to hurt, but if you're going to celebrate the wins for 24 hours, you've got to mourn the losses for 24 hours, because I don't even know who won or lost in our conference today. Don't really care, but I do know one thing. UT San Antonio, under the guidance of Jeff Traylor, is not going to care how we lost, whether we lost. We got a job to go do in 7 days, and we'll get up tomorrow, we'll lick our wounds. And I think probably the most hopeful part of the evening is if that's the upper echelon of this conference, which it appears we played two teams or two conference games, might be just that. But if if those two teams are what we think they are, then we should be pretty proud where we're at in a year and a half. And so we haven't been to a bowl game around here in a while, and we're going to have 6 more, like I said, just like that. And all we got to do is improve and grow so infinitesimally, smallly. We got to grow just a little bit to put us over the edge in games like that, like tonight. But if we do, which I think we will, we got 6 winnable games in front of us and 6 losable games. So it'll be up to the guys in that locker room how they want to attack this week. Questions?
2 scoring drives late there for UNT. What kind of led to their success? Was there fatigue with the defense, or did they just execute well?
Yeah, all of the above. Yeah, we had some really, really poor tackling. And I know it's hard to tackle when it's wet. We broke a lot of tackles on offense too. I'm sure Coach Morris is up in arms about how many tackles they missed. So I get that. That's a really good quarterback. No, fatigue, it's just, we still have just enough of the old us in us that when it shows up in some really bad ways. And So we had some guys in the wrong gap. We had some guys taking the running back when they should have taken the quarterback, or vice versa. And so, but yet they did it perfectly well 10 other times throughout the course of the game. So we're still learning that every play is the play of the game. And you need to be that dialed in and that focused on your assignment. And we talked the whole week, not the whole week, we talked certainly today about the three things you can control on that field: your effort, your assignment, whether you know what to do or don't know what to do, and then your technique. And so if you play with great effort, you know what you're doing, and you play the way you're coached to do, usually really, and I told them, you're not going to win every one. You can do everything right. And I think that's where maybe we struggled in the past, was with this whole belief of how we do things, that it was almost, well, see, coach, I tried it your way and I got beat. Well, I know. Our way only gets you in the door. You know, it gives you an opportunity. And I told them going into this game that we're not going to win every battle tonight. But if we win enough and we keep battling, you know, and we didn't. We didn't win quite enough, but I saw a bunch of guys out there for really, really long periods of time trying to do it the way we want it done.
Let's talk about your quarterback play. Might as well. He's a great dual threat quarterback. He extends plays real well and does a good job with his legs. But you know, he had career high 3 touchdown passes in addition to his running. So why don't you describe what you saw from your quarterback, and do you think that he's getting much better as time goes on?
I saw the guy we recruited. I saw what I've seen in practice. I saw a confident dude, you know, a guy. I don't know if this is. I saw a guy that knew he was one of, if not the best player on the field.
Okay.
And he went out and was that. And that was really, really fun to see. He needed a game like this. It had been brewing. I think, you know, the first quarter, Wagner, the interception down on the goal line, I think put a damper on it, but you score 17 points in one quarter. And, you know, I think other than that pick, he might have had not thrown an incompletion or something like that. So he played really good. And man, there's a lot that he left out there too, you know. And so, you guys have seen a lot of football, a lot of college football. I mean, these are 18 to 22-year-old young guys, and I hope you guys see the level of growth that I have seen in this team in the last few weeks. That's a different team wearing blue and red that just had a really, really hard loss, then showed up in Storrs, Connecticut. That I can promise you. So to make the jumps, the strides, the growth that not just the quarterback, our entire team, our offensive line, we blocked them, you know, and Cam trusted them. How about that? How cool was that? To see him just kind of slide a little bit, slide up in the pocket, big plays. So they're learning, they're growing, and I wish we could play a game every other day so that these guys could just continue to go get that experience, but their bodies won't let it. So we'll keep trying to make practice really hard to simulate the games, because we're close, and the quarterback is too, and we lost tonight, and it hurts. We grew up a lot too.
I have a follow-up. Have you ever seen many wet weather games turn out to be shootouts like this? Because let's face the reality, this game, I think, collectively between both teams went over 1,000 yards, I think.
Close to it,
Close to it.
Or right at, yeah.
Yeah, right around there. So this was a wet weather fun game to watch.
Yeah, it's I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised they ran the ball as well as they did against us. That we didn't tackle. You look at the stat sheet. yeah, you 519 yards, you're 8 of 15 on third down, and 6 of 6 in the red zone, and you lose. And we you know, Ron Bellantoni has a when he speaks at clinics and whatnot, he says, what's elite defense? It changes every week. Like, and he believes this in his core that, you know, if you lose a game 3-2, you didn't play elite defense, you know, because you gave up one more point than they did. And so I think hopefully our offense, we're not good enough to think we've arrived by any stretch, but I think we also know that we had a chance to end the game on offense, and we didn't. So you can look at all those numbers, and all they scored more than we did, and we made a lot of strides on that side of the ball. We have in the last couple of weeks, but it wasn't enough. You know, it wasn't enough.
Prior to the bye week, Cam said that other teams were scheming to try to take away the deep ball from you guys, and then tonight you guys started having more success in that area, started hitting more shots down the field. Given the personnel, you know, you guys have limited wide receivers, lost some guys to injury. What are some of the challenges scheming players open in the second level, and how are you looking to build upon the success you had in that regard moving forward?
I think this is going to sound really silly, but having done this for a long time, the great wide receivers, in college offenses, I think you can survive because in zone defenses, it's about feel and time. And then in man-to-man, we tell our quarterbacks all the time, one-on-one is not covered. Like timing and ball placement beat one-on-one coverage every time. Timing and ball placement. So I don't think does it help if you're, you know, a first rounder? Yeah. Those guys, and it's usually after the catch, right? I forget where you were going with the question, but I do know that with really, really good offensive, it was about the deep shots. When we block them, you know, it's not hard to get open, right? And you want to play man-to-man and I can't get open on you? Great, the quarterback will put it on my right here, or right here, or right here, you know? And that's how you survive, you know, when you lose players at wide receiver, and you know, you try to design plays throughout the week that are going to get guys open, but at the end of the day, if you're going to throw the ball past 10, 15 yards, you got to block them, and we blocked them pretty well, man.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I have one last question. If you go back to the statute, you also dominated time of possession. So from what I saw, I don't know what the last numbers were.
Yeah, 36 to 23, 36 to 24.
Right, so when you're able to dominate time of possession, obviously that probably you feel like this is an opportunity that did get away, knowing that there were many of them out there.
Yeah, I think time of possession is a pretty overrated statistic. But it was important for us to run the football tonight. I mean, this is a defense that really, really, I mean, you put 3 wide receivers in the boundary, they're going to put the whole secondary over there and tell that corner, just go play that guy to the field by himself, and they're going to stop the run. And we ran the football. And so I think, you know, you hate to be learning and growing on Saturdays, but when your team is, you know, this new and certainly offensively, you've had not just the 9 new starters, but then new starters within that that 9 new starters is there's a growth process, and we're still growing. And yeah, time of possession was good to see, but that and $2 will get me a cup of coffee at Starbucks right now. So, all right.
Last one.
Oh,
What went behind that reverse flea flicker in the second quarter? Like, why did you call that right there? What was going through your mind prior to that play?
I was pissed that we had a penalty on first down, and then I don't know. I knew I wanted to call it at some point in that drive because we'd kind of been setting it up with some formation in the boundary, some wide zone, and second and 12, I think is what it was. Just felt like the right time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.